So will everybody stand for the pledge of allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I'll do a quick roll call. Mr. Bassett,
Here.
Mr. Fenske,
Here.
Mr. Huck.
Here.
Thank you.
We have on the docket here, is there a motion for approval of the previous minutes from January 29th? Is there a second?
A second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, first item up for bid here in the public hearing, we have Garrity RV Storage. Petitioner here to present their request.
Yeah, I'm Dwayne Garrity and my parents own the property, Richard and Linda, that's in question. It's been a trucking company since approximately around early 70s. And at one time where the campers are now, there used to be 13, 14 trailers, 7 or 8 semis that were kept on that same parcel. When Lucas and the inspectors came out and said we were in violation, we have moved all the campers out of where the residence is located. There's 2 parcels on this property. And so we've moved or removed 12 units, boats, campers, like that. I don't know, let's see what pictures we got here. So where the trucks are there, that's where the campers are. The trucking company, we hauled for 2 companies, one out of Anderson, one out of Fortville, and we used to haul stuff in those tankers. And when those companies went out of business, the lot pretty much just sat empty. Sometimes some tree people would come and say, hey, we're working on some trees in your area, can we park here? Or utility companies would do the same. And 5 or 6 years ago, somebody knocked on Dad's door and said, hey, our HOA won't let us have a camper in their area, in their homes. And would you mind do you let campers stay here? And that's how it kind of got started. There's no advertising, nothing like that. It was just one of those deals. And then it seemed like when one person in the neighborhood found out that you could park your stuff there that close to their housing additions, it kind of snowballed, and he pretty much turns down 1 or 2 people a week that are trying to abide by the HOA rules. And back when Dad was in high school, he farmed this land for his grandma and grandpa. McCord was their last name. So it's been in the family around 80 years.
Neat old barn there.
Like we said, if you, okay, if I go up here. In that first slide, that's where the trucks were, the semis. And then there was some here, and there was a couple behind the barn, and some here in what we used to call the garden. And all those are gone now. Everything is just into this one area. And let's see here. We haven't added any new lights as far as light pollution or anything. The lights over there were the property when the trucks were there, just one lot in the corner, one light in the corner and one light hanging off the barn. No new buildings or anything since the trucking company went out of business. That's about all I got. I mean, we wasn't trying to do anything wrong or, under the law or anything. And like I said, the trucks have been there. So at one time we were understanding, and that was probably when Hamilton County had it before Fishers moved in, and, you know, the term grandfathered was sort of thrown around, never got anything in writing or anything, but like I said, the trucks were always there and nobody complained then. So, no, I don't know what changed besides Fishers, you know, incorporating out that far, even though it's still a Fortville address, the Fortville zip code.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Garrity.
Any questions?
We'll hear from
Okay.
staff and then we'll call you back up if we have some questions.
You all, good evening. Lucas Smith, zoning administrator for the city of Fishers, filling in for Grace Wiley. The item before you today is a request for a land use variance from section 5.1.5 of the city's Unified Development Ordinance to allow RV storage on a lot zoned R2 residential. 17198 Southeastern Parkway is located at the northwest corner of Southeastern Parkway and Atlantic Road. It is made up of 2 parcels. This property is zoned R2 Single Family Residential and is regulated by the city of UDO. The surrounding area is R2 Residential and Estate Residential. The Fishers 2040 plan designates this site as a neighborhood service center. The purpose of the Neighborhood Service Center District is to provide daily retail uses and personal services for surrounding areas. The variance request does not conflict with the comprehensive plan. Some history of the property. The property has been owned and occupied by the petitioner's family for at least 75 years. The northern lot has been used for commercial vehicle storage since at least 1974 per GIS aerials. It has been used for RV storage for the past 5 years. The reason the RV storage does not come in as a legal non-conforming use is because that business didn't start until after the zoning was in place. No public comments have been received on this request. Staff has a recommendation for approval to the Board of Zoning Appeals, Fall Creek Board of Zoning Appeals for this request. Should the board approve this petition, staff recommends it be done with the following conditions. The RV storage be entirely located on the northern parcel as to separate the residential from the business activity. The RVs be stored only on paved surface as to bring up standard that all vehicles be parked on paved surfaces in the city, and that the approval letter and related documentation be recorded on the property with the Hamilton County Recorder's Office. Staff is available for questions.
So your contention is that the storage of vehicles of these RVs happened after 5 years ago? So you're distinguishing between previous truck storage and these RVs? Correct. Just for curiosity's sake, is it like you can park here for a donation, or is there actually like an incorporated business involved with this? By paved surface, I assume the gravel lot would qualify as that? You're not saying that?
No, but the board does not have to
Right.
have staff's recommendations.
I just want to be clear on what your
Yeah.
recommendation was.
There's no paved surface there now at all. Pardon me? There's no paved surface there at all.
Millings, actually from the city of Fishers.
It's asphalt millings from road resurfacing projects. I'm inclined on that point to not be a stickler on the paving because it's something that's been there for 50 years. It's not a new use. It's not a change in use with regard to the surface lot. From that standpoint, I don't know how you feel about the RV storage versus truck storage situation.
Yeah, there was nothing there before. It's a little different.
Is there any plans for, this is just comparison's sake, years ago, over by Holy Spirit of Geist, there was some boat storage over there. I think they had some kind of screening from the road. Any thought or consideration of any screening from the road that would?
Basically, the woods, the wood line hides from the house behind us on Atlantic Road, and then the trees on the neighbor's house to the west.
That kind of blocks it
One place you can see it is right across from the IMI entrance.
The stone quarry
Yes.
folks.
Yeah, their entrance is right at the back of ours.
When there's time to ask questions, I had a question about like what we could do. Is there a way to put something to where there'd be an end date to it where like this, whatever ruling we have would end with in a specific amount of time, just because of in 20 years from now, somebody else takes the property and they think they can park 1 million cars on that just because we allowed it.
Typically don't do that with respect to a term of years. You would do that with respect to some triggering date, end of the current ownership, for example, or something along those lines.
We do need to have, open up for public hearing here as well. So, if there's anyone who'd like to speak, we'll go ahead and open it up for public hearing. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. So, Ronnie, to your point, you're saying, as we've done with other situations, approved variance of use goes with ownership and expires at, ownership transfer.
Yeah, I mean, usually when you're dealing with something like what you're talking about, there's a business involved, a certain company. When that company no longer uses the land, then the variance goes away. In this situation, it's individually owned land, and so, you know, when the current owners pass, the variance, to continue the variance has to be renewed, come back for another variance. Or you could, I mean, it's really, it's a condition that you all place on your decision. So you could say runs with the current title holder or to the title holder's heirs or whatever you want it to. Whatever you want.
I was gonna ask that. Is this property in the entire family's name? Is it the parent's name?
Right now, it's in the parent's name. Do you guys remember what you did on the will? As far as the property?
It goes to you.
My brother, Todd, it goes to us.
So if we were to stipulate owners or heirs, that would theoretically then pass it along to them, but that would end at that situation.
It would end once it was sold to somebody that was not one of their children, for example. If it's sold to a commercial or somebody else, then that variance would end.
And you could stipulate that it's just for RV storage so that we have a specific type of thing. It's not used cars and.
Absolutely.
Is there, anything in zoning regarding, if we were to approve the RV storage, certain number of vehicles or coverage of the lot? Some of these can be pretty compact and pretty dense, others are, nope, it's just one row of them. Is there anything regarding that?
Yeah, as far as the zoning requirement, no, because I mean, it's a residential use, so technically none of it's allowed. But I do believe that's a condition they can place. I don't know what would be appropriate off the top of my head.
Can you see that aerial that showed what the current?
Yes.
Can you count that many?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. There's like 26 there right now. And like I said, we moved, either told these people they had to go somewhere else, or people, we said, hey, we might have a problem. They said, well, we sold our boat or we sold our camper, so that helped us out. But everything is in there.
So if
And like I said, IMI is right here.
yeah.
And then the tree line here for the house that lives back in here.
And then you got the barns and the house on the southern property line. So really, it's just southeastern or Atlantic, if you will. That is.
Atlantic, yeah.
One of the stipulations was to keep them on parcel number 2 to the north.
That's what, Lucas.
Is that
and those
possible?
guys-
Is that possible?
Yeah, that's what we've done. Just we moved everything. Like I said, we told some people they had to leave. We didn't have room for them. Or we moved them into the upper parcel.
I mean, just thinking out loud here, I think if we would, cap it at the 26 they're at, so we don't add to that, keep it on that northern parcel. I do think it needs to be, a relatively clean gravel lot, meaning not a bunch of weeds and not, a bunch of overgrowth.
He's on his mower twice a week and, we turn around him. Sometimes they have locks on them for safety and they'll pull them out for us and then we'll mow underneath them and then move it back and stuff like that. So it's not like set it and forget it.
Just for people that's cutting off down there.
I'd be happy to fill up on a fence along Atlantic, not making a bay, but have a fence, or do you think that's not necessary?
Which side is that, on the right side?
That'd be
Oh,
the
I
right
see.
side. Cause you get tree line to the north, you got buildings to the south, you got trees to the west side.
Have you thought about fencing that area off before in the front, just to kind of?
No, because, we never have. We used to have a horse that just roamed around. And then most of this stuff, county mows all of this right here. Dad still mows with, inside his stuff, but. That people are just happy that it's, a lot of those new homes up on 104th. They just drop them, pick them up and get on their way on the weekend and bring them back. It's way less noise and traffic than when the trucking company was there.
I don't have any other questions. You guys have any questions?
No, covered mine.
Is there a motion?
I would see here, I guess if I can say all the things, did I go back to that sheet that had the, okay. Well, I would make a motion to approve, the case BA 26-2. With stipulations that, the RV storage is still entirely located in the northern parcel. The approval letter and related documentation be recorded on the property with Hamilton County Recorder's Office. And this approval remains with the heirs of the family. If it's sold outside the family, then this would have to be brought up again from somebody else. If that makes sense, I don't know.
Is there a limit on the vehicles too?
Yes, yeah, limited of 26 vehicles.
And did you want to add anything about the gravel lot?
We have 33 right now. I was counting spots. He has 33. Some of them are small little cargo, little bitty trailers that got you. So he knows his numbers.
Doesn't matter to me.
Yes,
Change it to 33 then.
That's fine. What is there? What was in that picture? That's why I was asking for what they count.
Some of them were places that they get pulled out and they weren't there. So I just was kind of guesstimating, but he's the one that knows his count. So he's got 33.
They're close together right now, can't get any more.
Fair enough.
And,
So amend that to 33 instead of 26.
33.
Got it.
And I guess we'd have to continue to have a clean gravel surface, at least a
Yeah.
gravel surface on there.
Parked only on a gravel surface then. That is the entirety of your motion.
That's
Actually,
messiest motion I ever made, but I did cover some of it.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Say aye. Aye. It is unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay,
We're approved.
good luck. I guess we'll move on. Is there any old business? New business? No? Okay, then we will adjourn the meeting.